So Al went. Blah, 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 blah.
Hello! Welcome to Roast Mortem.
Whoa.
A wonderful show about taking out the trash, historically speaking.
Yeah.
I'm Tom.
I'm Travis the Trash Man.
Hi, I'm your Cody for this evening.
And the house cartoon character / skateboarder is he's out again. Mike is out. He's the fourth host.
Oh.
You shouldn't have 4 hosts on the show anyway. So he's dead.
It's the rule of threes. You know what I mean?
3 is a magic number.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the loneliest number, just like in that song, because we're all lonely boys. 3 is the loneliest number that you ever seen.
Stop touching me.
We all have a soft spot in our hearts for Limp Bizkit. Travis, how was your week?
Aw, thanks for asking, Tom. My week's been pretty good. I started making some cold brewed coffee in a vat.
When you say
It
vat,
sounds delicious.
when you say vat, do you mean your ass?
Makes you shit really quick.
Yeah.
This is old coffee, pretty much.
I know,
You
one
drink
vat to
old
another.
I
coffee,
love
you
that.
poop real
I
quick.
love that.
I've been doing that. I got some more plants that are probably going to die because I have no luck with house plants.
It's not about luck. It's about watering them.
Yeah, well, I give them Monster Energy drink every day,
Well,
so they'll grow faster.
They do get tall quick, but then they end up showing off their, they show their penises to their friends that they're playing Minecraft with, and then they get suspended from plant school all the way to death. It's just a downward spiral of Monster Energy drink. Brought to you by Red Bull.
peeing rocks is a superpower, right?
I've been cold brewing. I've been doing photosynthesis with Monster Energy drinks. I've been doing auctions. I got some cool things.
Yeah, how's
The
your
other day.
smut going?
Oh, it's good. I got a whole bunch of pornography the other day.
Doing what?
featuring Edward. One of them is like a list of all this porn that you could buy, and it has Edward Penis Hands 1 and 2 on there.
The sequel that Tim Burton
Yes.
didn't get around to.
Yeah. Well, this was Tim Burton's sex tape.
Right. That makes sense.
Well.
Shout out to Helena Bonham Carter. How do you do it? Cody, how has your week been?
So fine. Been thinking about Helena Bottom Cartner, or however you fucking say her name. That sweet breath of air. Good. I had something in my thoughts.
No way.
I have, like, whenever there's anxiety going on, I can manage it. Nobody worry. But like the silly symptom on the flip side of it is I get production nightmares. Is this something you guys have? Because you also do like shoot day nightmares. You know what I mean? It's graduated from like the naked, like, oh my god, I don't know what class I'm supposed to be in, to be like, oh my god, is this the right set I'm supposed to be on?
I don't care enough.
No, I
Really?
get that, Cody. I mean, how could you not?
Okay, but like the thing is, like, it was weird because it was strange because this never happened to me before. I was like sound guy for like a porno, and you can tell like this in this dream. I'm gonna say it again. This is a dream. Like that's a high quality porno if it's got its own sound guy. So I'm there like chucking it up, like shoving a microphone in butts, and then like this stereotypical thing happens where like, oh, the male talent can't come. It's like he can't pinch his inch right. And I'm just like, well, this sucks. No, like the camera guy like asks the director like, oh, can I tag in? And the director's just like, I want this done, so just go do it.
So we're just talking
And
about
then
the
like
money
the camera
shot?
guy like tags in. Yeah, this is just the money shot, and like the cameraman tags in, and he's built like a garbage man, and like almost too quickly he does it, but it's like gross and goes everywhere and stinks. And like the director's just like, I have to drive you to the hospital, get in my car. And I'm just I'm just there left with the guy that couldn't come. And I'm just so grateful I was this guy in the dream. You know what I mean? Like, oh, thank God I'm this guy. That could have ended horribly if I was anyone else around me.
Just the
but I was
sound
just
guy.
an observer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, whoo.
Now, there are plenty of pornographies
very-
with sound guys. And I will throw this out there.
Of course.
They're a different type of sound
But
guy.
that's how you know they're good.
No, I'm talking about the different type of sound guys.
Oh, okay.
Sounding guys.
Yeah, well, they can double up too. You just sound the microphone,
Yeah.
and then you
You put a shotgun out
spin it
there.
around.
And
Yes.
usually I
So-
do hate listening to anyone talk about their dreams, but I did like that one.
I
that was
know.
a good one.
I seem to have a better hit or miss like batting like average than the average Joe of dreams. So like if they're good, I'm going to share them. That's going to be one of my New Year's resolutions.
It is fun. That was a good one. All right.
Cody's starting a dream journal.
And I had the dream about Mike trying to do fucking seafood chili. That was great.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I still think sounds great. But Tom, did you have any
No,
seafood
you're wrong.
chili?
I did have some seafood yesterday. We had some bronzino, which you must be very careful when you're eating it because it's 90% bones, and you have to work your way around there. So you become very in touch with calcium. You don't want to eat it, but because you're gonna choke on it. It's very bad.
Wait, is this like the crab of fish?
Yes.
Sure. I think that's
crab of fish.
It's the crab of fish. So yeah, we did that. I don't know, man. Like my week, I gotta say, look, we talk shit about dead people on the show. That's what drives the show. People have to die. Unfortunately, there were a couple rough deaths over the last week. I'm hearing about. So just a little shout out to MF Doom and Alexi Laiho.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. Fuck.
Yeah, really strange. I kind of had I found out about that. Obviously, you're hearing this weeks after because this is how we record the show. But yeah, I heard those things and they kind of hurt. Those were both on very, very heavy rotation. I have a Doom.
They're both in their like 40s too, right?
Yeah, Doom was 49 and Laiho was 41. I don't know if I'm saying his name right because I'm not from Finland. But yeah, he was one of those guys who I just liked his guitar playing a lot, and I loved the magical melodic heavy death metal stuff and the wonderful verses of Sir Doom.
Sir Doomus.
Sir Doom.
That was a
Doom.
weird one for me. I got to say, I don't tweet about these things. I don't put it on social media, grieve for someone I don't actually know, but that was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that, that's the little shout-out thing. Now let's go back to rejoicing in other people's deaths.
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. That's why they're here.
Okay. Sure,
Okay.
Fine.
Who's on the chopping block tonight, boys?
Alrighty, guys. Do you know who Socrates is?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
He's from
Sorry.
Bill Ted's Excellent.
Yeah, Bill Ted's Excellent Adventure, Greek philosopher, drank some dank-ass flowers, dead. That's the end of the show.
Right.
Sure.
All right, everyone.
Bye.
I'm just
Rest
kidding.
one of that guy's last Patreon the dick holes.
I'm just kidding because we're not roasting that guy tonight. Although we are roasting someone whose poop was definitely in Socrates' urethra.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Think about that.
That's
Scoop it.
gross.
Scoop it in there. You know a little bit of poop goes into your pee hole.
When what? When you bag someone's groceries?
Do anal?
When you
anus.
Oh, you're talking about butt stuff.
Yeah. We're doing Alcibiades.
Okay. Alan
Ever
I
heard
don't
of
know
him?
if he said that
No,
right.
I don't know who Alan Alcibiades is.
Alcibiades. We're just going to call him Al most of the episode because I don't like saying that, and I probably didn't even get it right the first time.
Great.
I've been listening to his name all week. People say it differently. You get these old people learn how to say your name. You know what I'm just saying? They got 7 different pronunciations. When you say it in Greek, it sounds like it's something you'd eat.
I think, to be fair, most Greek things sound like something you eat.
I know. So flaky.
Amphora
and nice
sounds
and light.
delicious. Yeah.
So this guy was a military general, a diplomat, and a fuck boy who screwed over most of classical Greece, and he looked damn good doing it.
Oh, a Ric Flair.
When you say that he screwed over, are you talking about like sexually, or are you talking about like
Both.
Okay,
Whoa.
Like hate fuck.
hate
Of
fuck.
Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Okay, bouncing around.
So cover your buttholes, boys and girls, because mainly boys, because we're going to ancient Greece.
yeah, they were
Cover it
fans
up.
of it. They were fans
We're
of
gonna
it.
Stay
talk
6
about
feet
that.
away.
We're gonna
Yep.
talk about
Keep
that
it
a
covered.
Yeah, you don't type Greek into any pornography website if you're not into just
Nope.
what appears to be some kind of wrapped grape leaf with testicles attached, sliding in and
You
out
can't
of
say
shit.
that. Man, come on.
They're beautiful people. Come on, continue.
So, in order to tell you about Alcibiades' story, first we got to brush up on our geography. Now, I know this is an audio podcast, If you're listening and you want to take a look at a map of the Mediterranean Sea, go ahead. But for those of you who are driving or furiously masturbating while listening, I gotcha.
And for those of you in space who are looking down over the Mediterranean, just keep looking.
Just keep looking down there.
Yeah. This is good.
So I want you guys.
List you as a reference.
Yes. So I want you guys to close your eyes, both of you.
Okay.
And you people at home, especially if you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, satire.
Closing it? You closing it?
Yeah, it's closed. Well, I hear zippers.
You're a sick man.
No, I'm not taking my pee-pee out. Keep your eyes closed, though. All right. So I want you to imagine a drawing of a blue-ass egg laying on its side, right?
Blue egg on its side.
Blue egg on its side, right? And the tip of the egg is pointed to the left. Now, that egg, just for ease, is the Mediterranean Sea. On the top of the egg, you got Europe. Below the egg, you got Africa. And on the right of the egg, you got the Middle East.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
See
Inside this egg, you got two sexy-ass legs extending from the top. One of them's wearing high heels. That one's Italy. And it's kicking a little poop emoji. That's Sicily.
Right. That's,
right?
Yeah, really hot.
Of course.
A lot of yolk.
So that's the left leg. And then on the right leg, oops, that one stepped on a landmine, and there's little bits of leg everywhere, and it's just a stump spraying shit. Okay. That's Greece.
Okay. Beautiful islands. Those
got that?
Those bits of leg.
Wow. Yeah.
So right at the bottom of the stump, you've got Sparta on the left and Athens on the right. Right? So it's spraying shit, gushing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, my ACL.
Now, another really important feature. Wait, hold on. Okay. You still picturing this?
Well, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah,
you asked me
dude.
to close my eyes.
I'm here. I'm here for it.
So on the upper right corner of the egg, there's a tiny little blue straw sticking out of it. And it connects to the Black Sea, which is basically, it's the shape of Australia. And right at the tip of that straw, that's Constantinople.
Okay.
So now you got it. Now you know what the Mediterranean looks like.
Can I open
It's got
my
beautiful
eyes?
beaches. It's got titties and butts there.
I'm going to open my eyes.
Open them.
Me too.
My penis is out.
All right.
I'm pretty familiar with what the region looks like, so that did nothing for me. But thanks.
All right. So just remember, two legs. One's kicking a poop emoji with high heels, and the other one's a stump that's shooting blood.
Yes. You know the biggest.
You got it,
know the
Chief.
biggest
I'm with
clump?
you.
You know what that one's called?
What's the biggest clump?
It's called Crete, which is
yes, Crete.
Apparently that's Greece's Texas, where shotgun weddings are.
Wow.
They flow like olive oil from the mainland.
All right. So one other exercise. When I say cats, you say
Dog,
Chup.
yeah. When I say mouth hole, you say
anus.
yeah. When I say Athens, you say
Crete.
Sparta, dog.
Sparta.
Oh, right. Okay, Athens. That's what you were trying to get. You could have. All right, Travis. I appreciate
You
the
fucked up.
creativity.
You fucked up.
I appreciate the creativity, but I didn't follow. And
Trying
now I
to
do.
learn,
Now I do.
though.
Thanks. No, thank you, because now I feel foolish as well. Sometimes you want people to feel foolish. So you did succeed in a way. I'm going to pick you apart until the day I die.
So now we know the region. We know Athens and Sparta are polar opposites in almost every aspect in ancient Greece. So in Sparta, you have a dual monarchy or diarchy that's totalitarian and military. You know, this is Sparta. We know all that shit.
Also run by women.
Yeah, but he's.
Oh, yes. We will talk about our sexy, strong-labed women.
Yeah, strong-labed women.
Ooh. Yes, please.
Also,
more.
don't type that into Pornhub. Go for Greek before that one.
Right. And then Athens is the cultural, democratic, mercantile, fancy pants.
They both
The one thing that unites both of them, they both got slaves. So our boy Al was an Athenian, and he came from the upper crust of their democracy. And a lot of people tend to romanticize the Athenian democracy as some type of miraculous egalitarian society where everyone's equal. But surprise,
They did
surprise, it was just as corrupt as every democracy today.
Oh man.
Yeah. Well, it's fine.
Surprise.
Fine. Let's not dwell.
So
We could dwell.
Alcibiades was. Yeah, dwell on it, dude. I want you to dwell. I want you to crust it.
I'm gonna start dwelling. Ooh. Ooh. Is that a good dwelling?
Dwelling
sound, right?
complete.
That's active dwelling. That's not. That's when you concentrate.
Dynamic
dwell.
dwelling.
We're getting really studious tonight, so
All
put
right.
on your fancy hats. Put on your hats with feathers on them.
Shit.
Oh, it smells.
That's a dead bird. Continue, Travis.
Alcibiades was born in Athens in 450 BC to a guy named Cleinias, and his mom's name was Diamaki.
God.
Both of them were from distinguished families. His mother could trace their family line back to Ajax in the Trojan War, which we talked about when we talked about the guy who dug up the Trojan city.
Most people can only
Troy.
trace their mother back to Ajax on the floor as they clean up the spilled grape juice that they've.
Ha! Sexism.
Well, it's fun. You know, it's fun. Also, they were probably, what is it,
It's in
Clinius
there.
and Dioclinius? What is this? This is probably
Diamaki.
Diamaki. So this is probably the beginning of the term mom and dad. Because fuck saying that shit as a little kid.
Yeah. So Daddykin was a skilled warrior, and he fought alongside legendary Pericles during the Peloponnesian War. If that was all garbage to you, then, whatever. It's Spartans versus Athenians.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
But
buy
it.
Peloponnesian means Spartan. It's like the landmass they're on. Peloponnese.
Yeah. Touch my Peloponnesia.
Yeah.
So even though his dad was against the Spartans, he was called a Xena.
Was he a warrior princess?
Oh.
That's right. He tucked it in and he threw sharp frisbees at people.
Did our fella Al have a dandy dad? Did he have one of those dads that had to reinvent himself at some point? Strong. Possibly full of mistakes in the past, but still strong.
Dad bods are in.
Yeah, so he's dad bod in there. He's a Xena. And what a Xena is, it roughly translates to guest or friendship. Friendship. It's kind of like an ambassador. So they've got this like family tie to a Spartan family that like even if they're at war, they still had to be hospitable towards that one family.
Okay.
It's very
buy it.
important.
It's fine.
So this meant that young Al was raised by a Spartan nurse. Now, if you know anything about Spartan women, as I mentioned earlier, it's that they were hard as nails, and they had the labias to prove it.
So instead of like a carriage, they would
More.
just shove him back in there for a bit.
Yeah.
Like just,
Kangaroo it.
Nap time, bitch!
we're going for a jog and I need both hands, okay? Because I'm picking up bread. Woo!
So just like the men in Sparta, women also trained and were roughly equal to men in most aspects under the law. A Spartan woman could own land and own slaves and everything.
Cool.
Right. So Athenian women, in comparison to the other, were the traditional way that the Western world treated women as doormats or sperm banks. So you'd imagine Al's being raised by this Spartan, thunder thigh lady.
It's great.
Wow.
It's a beautiful mother. Or fake mother.
Yeah. Fake mother.
Nurse.
Fake mother.
So Al's there making all the hello nurse jokes, and all of a sudden, oh no, daddy dies in battle. Ooh.
Oh.
What he was supposed to do.
Yeah. Now, as I mentioned, women had no power in Athens, and even with childcare. So Al's mom leaves Al with his uncle Pericles, who was the richest, most influential leader/general in Athens.
And he had a Camaro.
It's a good uncle.
And he had what?
He had a Camaro.
Yeah, he was rolling around his El Camini.
So sick.
Love it.
Now, Pericles was a very busy man. He's running the country, making all these peace treaties with Sparta and shit. He doesn't have time for Al. So he just has money. He just throws money at Al, making him a spoiled little rich kid, as many of our stories begin.
Awesome.
I think if you have children, just throw money at them. Just bathe them in money. Money is very dirty, so it'll build their immune system. You don't need to worry about COVID.
Right. Throw the cash at them.
Yeah.
Keep the Bitcoin. That's what I say. Spoil the child, spare the coin.
Ow.
Little Al had a propensity for violence. One day he walked up to his school teacher. He was reading off some Homer. That's pretty much what school was. They just read Homer and
Read
talked
Homer.
about it.
Nice.
And just punched him in the face for no real reason. Just, pop. Knocked him out.
Spontaneous bopping.
Yeah. He was also a known biter. When he got into little scraps, he'd take a chomp out of your arm enough to draw blood.
Oh, asshole.
How did this guy
Have
get
you
to an
ever fought a
adult?
kid in grade school that bit you?
I heard about those kids. I didn't actually get in a lot of fights. Because everyone's really intimidated by me, so they wouldn't want to start shit.
Oh.
I mean, I'm kidding. I was quiet. But I've seen biters. What's that
Cody,
kid's name?
You were a
Just to
biter.
bite people.
Yes, I've been bitten by that, man.
Beep that name, Swig.
But you can rest assured, listeners, that Travis has been bitten by a man that I also know is a
Oh,
biter.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when
That's
Travis was bitten.
pretty bad.
I didn't know that you were bitten, actually. So it's a revelation
was.
for me. Having a good time.
Sometimes-
Shout out to
Yeah, sometimes you gotta watch out for those teeth. You gotta look at the fists, right? But watch out for those chompers.
yeah. And that kid wasn't much for brushing either. So
No.
That's why it's so dangerous.
It was like a shark bite.
my
Where,
wound
they
smells like
carry all the
barbecue
bacteria.
sauce.
Hate it.
Cody, you were a biter.
I did not bite.
Okay,
I never bit.
just checking. So we got this little
I'd
rich kid.
bite if I was fighting an animal.
We got this little rich kid. He's got all the money in the world. He's biting people, punching his teacher out. And now let's talk about the elephant penis in the room. When it comes to Greece, right? Boy sex.
Normal.
All right.
Right. So that is not a myth about ancient Greeks. They liked boys' buttholes a lot.
Boozy.
Why not?
It was something that was completely normal back then in their society. In fact, when older men found a fuckboy in the real sense,
Yeah.
oftentimes he would get approval from their parents to fuck them. They're like, oh, I like your son. He's cute.
Oh,
Kiss him on the lips.
Lovely.
I hate
How-
this. I don't.
How do you start off?
We're not talking about
How do you
this
start
for a
off
long
that
time.
transaction?
Cody,
Approach with a flower.
Travis, we're not talking about this for an extended period of time on the show, are we?
No.
I mean,
Thank God.
It's making you uncomfortable, bro?
I just don't. I don't even. What do you do? What do you do when you're doing a podcast and your friend's like, want to know something funny about ancient Greece that's definitely real? The children were all sexed.
Yeah. Well, it's an important part of the story. We got a boy at this point, who is he's one of the most attractive people in Greece throughout his life.
Okay.
good for him.
Yeah. So there you go. Boys are out there flaunting off their buttholes. Now, the older men in this relationship was called Orestes because they need to get arrested.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Sure.
the sex partner they had, the child, was called an Uramenos. But they acted kind of like a sugar daddy, and oftentimes they would pay for the kids' like education and introduce them to adult society and into philosophy in general. So it's like a mentor bang role, real sadistic shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, Western society.
You know what? History is canceled.
Yeah.
History,
Yeah.
we have to cancel it right here, right now. We've done enough history to know that this is just not working out.
Right.
Take
so now,
away its Twitter account.
Yeah. We're
So now
going
if
to
you're
get Greek
real-
Harvey Weinsteins out there.
If you're a real homophobe, you're going to be like, oh, dude, that's gay, and not realize that that's pedophilia. But Greeks were...
Of course.
Thanks.
Greek society was... Bisexuality was accepted back then, not just between boys, but like you could bang anyone you want. In fact, Plato said that while a heterosexual union might result in physical children, a homosexual partnership produces spiritual offspring, splendid philosophical ideas, sublime concepts, which a man simply could not share with a woman.
Okay, so that's a really great way of being sexist.
Wow.
Like hiding, like you're not just bang the bitch, and then you can go hang and get real friends in men, communicate, and then when you try to get horny, you don't want to deal with the women. This is a stack of bullshit, which seems to be justifying pedophilia, which nobody likes that. Except apparently all of these people. So
all of Athens.
I don't know. Just keep going. Get past this bit.
So young Al was a very attractive little boy, and at the ripe old age of 12, he was stretching his asshole for all of the wealthy and influential men of Athens. One of them being none other than our boy, Socrates.
Good.
Wasn't Socrates poor?
Yes, but he was poor, but they held like philosophers in like a weird sense. Like he had influence. Even though he was poor, he held like sway and influence.
They let him in the brothels.
Oh, you mean like artists and activists today?
Yeah, like the guy we love talking about a lot, Allen Ginsberg.
I mean, Allen Ginsberg, he knew it was bad.
Yeah.
He was like, put me back in Greece. He should have been in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He would actually make a really funny Socrates.
Ew.
Wow.
He looks
Too
like,
real, Tom.
he's like a Bell's palsy Socrates.
Yeah, kind of.
Crossing all types of lines tonight, are we, Tom?
I don't know. I'm trying to have fun
It's good.
here, and it's
good.
honestly
It's good.
I'm
It's
not.
good. I like
Honestly,
it.
I'm not. I don't want to hear any of this stuff. But continue.
So one of the fathers of Western philosophy in his 30s was getting a little Al's butthole.
Thanks.
And he would bring him to orgies and throw parties for the god Dionysus.
Why did you do that?
And also, the way Socrates saw it, he was like, this little kid's a little dickhead. He's punching his teachers in the face. So Socrates tried to like impose his philosophies on this like rowdy, spoiled brat.
Oh.
And also nail him because Greece. So anyway, Al grows up after taking load after load, and eventually he hits 18, and he's officially a man. And now,
Yay. It's less creepy.
yeah. So now, when you're 18 in Athens, it's kind of like, don't they do this in Israel? You have to do like civic service. It's like,
Well, you got to join the army over there in Israel.
yeah.
Mandatory military
Right. So they
service.
do that over in Athens too. And
They
right?
do. And it's not always military. It can be a civic service, like you could build a bridge or something.
Right.
Okay.
Work at
Whatever.
Stop and Shop.
2 years of your state.
Right.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many bridges there are in that country suddenly. Just a surplus of them.
Yeah, we got so many bridges. Every road is
Like,
leading
wow.
to Greek Rome.
Rome is that would be a very big bridge. You have to get to the other leg.
Now, I'm talking about Greek Rome,
Oh.
Athens, which is now just as dirty as Greek Rome.
Yeah, have you ever visited,
Italian Rome. Yeah.
Yeah, if you ever visit Athens, now you can think about all the boy sex that you're stepping on from the past.
This is terrible. I hate this episode.
But you haven't stopped it yet.
Well, I can't.
So-
It's out of my hand. It's a democracy,
Whoa.
and that seems to fail even as far back as ancient Greece.
So Al took this time to not do any real civic duty. Him and his uncle was only a year older than he was, so there's some fuckery going on in the past. But him and his uncle took out a boat, and the two of them sailed around the Mediterranean and boned each other, as well as any horrors or whatever that they encountered along the way. Fed of vaginas.
It's great. What are you doing this weekend? I'm gonna have sex with my young uncle on the boat.
Yunkle.
We're gonna get Hooters after,
Yeah.
and we're not gonna tip the ladies.
Wow. Well,
Because I'll be
imagine-
sexually satisfied, and I won't be disillusioned by their massive knockers.
Well, the thing is when they would dock in a harbor, they would actually be docked.
Right. and they would be pulled off in a hammock. Like they'd be spun up in a hammock and then covered in barbecue sauce as they're brought into Hooters. And the poor girls trying to get tips over there would try to just unweb them, and they'd be banging
These
before
guys
they were
again.
hungry again. Vicious cycle.
Yeah. So one of the biggest brothel towns in the Mediterranean was a place called Hellespont. And this was at the mouth of the Dardanelles, which is, remember when I was talking about that straw that connects the egg to the Black Sea? Mm-hmm. It's a big-ass river called the Dardanelles. Now, there had, like, this star prostitute there that, like, everyone in the ancient world talked about, this chick named Metadonis.
Whoa.
And so Al and his uncle tag-teamed her. A bit of Eiffel Tower action 2,500 years before the Eiffel Tower was built.
That's cool.
So I'm not going to say this didn't happen. I'm not refuting anything you're saying, but is this actually history? Like, why do you know this?
I read this in a book called Nemesis that was written by an actual historian.
Wow.
And he did research about this subject.
This is like if Don Vito, like, instead of being fat and stupid, wanted to do history.
Wow.
That's what's
Would
happening
you let him?
here. Like, none of this makes sense. You're just, and they did a banging. And then they found a famous chick and they banged her on both sides. They're cousins and they were banging.
I'm just trying to set the scene for, like, this person that's going to be one of the most influential people in Athens.
It's fine.
So anyway,
I'm in. I suppose I have to be in, as I mentioned before.
So anyway, they tag team this, like, star prostitute, and when you know, they got pregnant. Or she got pregnant. The guys got pregnant too.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
They ate too much gyro.
They did that. All types are wrong.
Do they have a paternity test?
Well, years later, Al and his young uncle returned back to Hellespont, and they did a little double action with the prostitute and her daughter, and both of them joked about who was the father of the kid while they were balls deep in both of mom and
Ooh.
Dude, Greece is like, it's an important place in history. This is an important era in Western.
Okay, yeah.
I get no, I get it. I just like
No.
This makes It's Always Sunny seem like lamb chop.
It's on a lamb chop.
Yeah. What? Thomas the Tank Engine. Maybe that's a little more popular. Yeah, Always Sunny, banging broads and all that. That's these are sick men.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's the birthplace of Western history.
I don't care about social norms. You're having sex with children. It's a little weird.
Okay, so let's get
maybe
back.
like somebody had sex with their daughter.
Somebody
Probably.
did. It was roulette, right? You don't know.
But they were probably going back
We don't
and
know who the
forth.
daughter is, but so much sex was had. You could say dad banged a daughter. That's weird. I don't like that.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable for the rest of my
Bets
life.
were not hedged.
I'm usually somewhat uncomfortable, to be fair. I'm used to being uncomfortable, but now I'm here.
Well, okay.
Now I am home. I am. That was the sperm, and I am the egg, and I will now be born extra uncomfortable.
Extra born. Mm-hmm. Born
Bloomin'
extra.
onion.
Yep. All right.
So let's get back to his actual career. We don't need to stop talking about it. Tom can feel, and he can go to a safe space. No have to talk about real world problems and
There
Western
is no safe
democracies.
space.
Let's get back to his career. So he joins the Athenian army after this little tour at the age of 20, and he specifically joins the cavalry. So the peace that Pericles had made with the Spartans had deteriorated, and once again, these two city-states were at war. So Alcibiades fought alongside his old pedo lover, Socrates. The two of them, in fact, shared a tent.
Well, what happened to the tent?
A little bit of Al made a bit of a name for himself during the course of this war, and he returned back to Athens a hero, and he decided to enter politics. And of course, once he's back in Athens, he starts partying, drinking, and banging everything in sight because it's this guy.
Woo!
One playwright, because there's actually a lot of the stuff we know about him. I mean, he was a pretty well-documented person. He had a few historians at the time write biographies about him, but also there were playwrights. So Athens was really big into their plays, right? You know, drama, whatever. And a lot of times they base their like playboy person, like spoiled idiot person, after Alcibiades.
Oh.
So
Okay, so we're getting it. He's the Carl Switzer. He's a brat.
yeah. So this one
Iconic.
playwright said this about him. He said, as a boy, he enticed husbands away from their wives. As a young man, wives away from their husbands.
Could you imagine? That
Wow.
that story where he gets stuck in a dumbwaiter and half of him is brought up to the second floor and someone's fucking him on the first floor? The things you could do with this. He is like a sexual Gumby at this age, where he's just bing bong. I only lift my leg to walk and fuck. Everything else happens seamlessly.
Strap in.
Oh man, imagine that one guy, that one like wife that like loses her husband to Al and then like remarries and then cheats on her husband with Al, right?
Things happen quick over in Greece, man. This is a quick turnaround. They got those smart cars. They're just like us, except terrible.
City bikes, too.
So keep in mind, this guy is a violent asshole, and now that he has a taste for blood, like in a warfare sense, right? His violence kind of goes up a little bit. So he enters politics at the age of 27, and by means of buying off officials and literally punching judges in the face. He likes just punching people in the face.
Really,
This dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
punching a judge doesn't that
I don't
usually
like
get
him.
you into like Greek jail?
See, this guy, I feel like he gets away with everything because he's so damn pretty. Everyone's like, oh, I like this guy. He looks nice.
Still confused.
Oh.
I'm constantly filled with resentment. So when I see someone who looks better than me, I hate them.
Yeah.
I want them to suffer. So
He was
Yeah.
they needed some of that.
he was also like, he dressed very androgynous, so it didn't matter what you liked. You liked Alcibiades.
All right. There's that guy who gets everyone all hard and wet and shit. And he's walking down the street, just taking loads on the head off of second-story roofs. Just, second-story roofs.
Is that really talent on his behalf or the squirter?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I hate him. I hate Greece at this time period. I like Greece now. They're nice people. Really
When he
nice. They've
wasn't
obviously
knocking
grown
out-
out of this.
When he wasn't knocking out judges, he was abducting artists to paint him. He was lopping off tails of frenemies' pedigree horses. Be like, oh, dude, your pedigree looks so nice. And he just, like, cut it off.
Dang.
Tail. And, yeah, just a little penis. But by the age of 30, it was time for him to get a wife. He's like, gotta get a wife up now. Come on. Cool.
Okay.
We're getting more influence, and like, you know, back in the day, you married someone basically just for influence. So his eyes fell upon 14-year-old Hippocrates. Hippocrates.
Well, you know, at least she's over 10. I don't know what you want to hear now. Like, with all the debauchery, it's like, well, he's been having sex with adult men with gray pubic hair since he was 8.
12.
Like, what is this? Oh, well, 14. Okay, at least they could. At least they can kick and
So-
scream a little bit more. I don't know.
Unfortunately for Al, a few years prior to meeting this 14-year-old girl, he had punched her father in the face unprovoked. He just walked right up to him and just punched him in the face for no reason.
Why you don't do that?
The next day, he showed up to her father's house naked and apologized and let him beat him. He's like, dude, I didn't
Is that
know why I
really-
punched you in the face. Just beat me up now.
Dude.
What's going on here?
He's that kid. Remember, he's just like, oh, I'm sorry I hit you. You want to hit me? It's just like, I don't. So you don't tell me. Like, no, I'm still telling on you. Just hit me. I'm like, I'm not hitting you. fuck off. I'm telling on you, bastard. And then you'd go do it, and then like the teacher wouldn't even like pay attention to you.
Cody, you're like regressing. You're unlocking like
I know.
stories from your past.
Shit came out there. That was weird. But yes, I know this asshole breed very well.
So he punched her dad in the face, and now he's trying to win over his daughter. Now, the lucky thing for Al was that the dad dies, and now he needs to get approval about Hippocrates from her brother, Callus, which is a lot easier than the dad you punched in the face.
Yeah.
So, the big part of marriage meant that Al would receive a huge dowry, a big lump sum of money when they married.
Money.
Now, of course, Al convinces the brother to give him an additional dowry when they had a child, which was something that was really not usual. He's like, look at me, I'm so fucking pretty. When we have a good-ass kid, you're going to give me extra money.
You're going to want to keep that kid.
Money.
You're going to want a kid.
The cute kid.
You're going to want to put that kid on the showroom floor. You're going to want to put him right next to your Lexus. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to paint this kid on the wall real big.
Hit that kid with the track lighting.
You're going to want, yeah, all that shit. You're going to want to put him on a book about learning about different things. You're going to want to put him on the Mavis Beacon cover with Mavis hand on shoulder.
Herself.
Yeah.
Now, the thing was there was no way for this androgynous playboy to stop getting his dick wet. And there was an actual law in Athens where a man needed to fuck his wife at least 3 times a month. I don't know who's measuring this. Like, I don't think I hear him.
Look,
this month.
I gotta say that's my favorite law of Athens at this time. I know there's a lot of ladies with stale, crusty old men that they've married. They owe you one, and it's got to go both ways.
Maybe 3.
We got to meet in the middle here somewhere, But like, come on, help a lady out.
Now, Al couldn't even do that. He was too much about that boy pussy, slave sliz, and prostitute poon to have sex with his wife 3 times a month.
Imagine
a man can only do so much,
right?
I mean, it's got to be great to be him. Yeah. Hey, honey, sorry, I can't put out for you tonight. I just can't get erect because I just came 6 times and a fucking other 14-year-old prostitute who really kind of needed the money, but guess what? I barely paid him. Can't read, doesn't know money. Fine.
Is this paper?
Yeah.
Paper, please.
Wow. He said it was $10. Gave him a 5. No complaints. We're out there.
Freaked out of the CVS wrapper.
Yeah. I'm covered in sheep's wool right now. I tried to make cheese on the way home. I couldn't do it. But I am not ready to have sex. That's what I'm getting at.
So Hippocrates filed for divorce, which he could legally do because her husband wasn't fucking her 3 times a month.
Amazing.
Now, this was a problem for Al because if she won the divorce, like she had to go to court for this, and if the courts awarded her a divorce, Al would have to return the dowry.
Good.
Which he's probably blown through at this point.
Okay. Yes. Well, on prostitutes. Lo and behold, on the thing that made him not be able to do the thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So during the hearings, Al busted down the doors of the courthouse, all like methed up Proud Boy style, and literally flung her over his shoulder and galloped off with his horse.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So essentially, his wife was her prisoner. Essentially, Al made his wife a prisoner in their country house. And Al was like, I gotta go do some business. Like, stay here. You can't leave.
Okay.
And while he was away on a trip.
No leaving.
Yeah, while he was away on a trip, he got a message that said she was dead. So I was like, oh, okay.
Is she really dead?
So
or some TMZ shit.
Yeah. She was really dead.
No.
They don't know how she died. It could have been suicide, or maybe Al just like had someone whack her.
Well,
but he had an alibi because he was not home.
Thank God.
Not home, Your Honor. Yeah. That's my alibi. I was not home.
Also, she's like 15 at this point. 15-year-old
definitely
girls are very
under 20.
emotional, and they'll do it. So don't take them seriously. Sad times.
But
It's not
he's
a joke.
stoked about he's stoked about this, and he quoted an Athenian poet that said, a woman brings you pleasure only twice. The first time is on her wedding night, and the second time is at her funeral.
Wow. So did he fuck her corpse?
I wouldn't put it past this guy. He's pretty sick.
Yeah, I was imagining you talking about this whole divorce case, and he rolls into a courtroom, and he's just like, hey, judge, I'm taking my wife home, but let me fuck your mouth first. And let me find some.
Dude,
let me sign some papers so this doesn't happen. But let me use my pre-cum as said ink to sign these papers. Greek letters, very beautiful.
That's a new Chase
He's
Ink card.
Yeah,
He's an ancient dice clay.
ancient dice clay.
Whoa!
That's what he is.
Hey, I've been fucking since I was 7. Man ass.
Oh,
Hey.
Hey. So, his brother-in-law demanded the dowry back because she had, return, please. She died 2 years after marrying you or whatever. Give me the money back. Al refused, and thus he had made a lifelong enemy of Callias.
wow.
Very nice. I'm happy he's there. Does that make sense? No.
Regardless of all this shit with his wife, Al was schmoozing, and his political career was blowing up, if you could imagine. So this guy's punching judges in the face. He's stealing his wife and banging everything in the city. And everyone's
He's draining the swamp too, probably.
this is the best guy ever. Let's make him a general.
Yeah.
Wow.
Space Force.
So he made this horny prick a general. Who are they fighting now?
Well, right now they are at peace. And I was going to get into that. So
That's a perfect time to make this kind of guy a general.
yeah. So he's basically made a general based on just his charisma.
Ooh.
But he has this hawkish stance, right? He wants to go to war again with whatever. He wants to make Athens into an empire in the Mediterranean. Now, this is in complete contrast to his fellow general, a guy named Nicias. And Nicias hated Al. Nicias was drafting peace treaties with the Spartans, and Al was stirring the pot with other city-states like Corinthia and Argive. Just oh, yeah, we're going to go to war again with Sparta. Ugh.
Look at me stirring the pot.
Yeah. Now, the Greeks were very afraid of the rise of a tyrant. Tyrant is, a sole ruler of a country.
Right.
Yes.
Like
Now-
Mussolini. Everyone always refers to Mussolini. And when I say that, I mean more people should refer to him because he's got a hilarious name.
Yes.
Dude, that guy is so small and so funny.
I know. We're gonna cover him on the show. We're not doing the other one, but we're gonna do Mussolini because he's got a lot of fun shit going on. He really does.
Fuck the other
Bald
one.
little angry man.
Yeah, so funny. God.
So they had a way to protect against the rise of a tyrant. And this was that they would hold a vote, because it was democracy, right? And they'd exile somebody for 10 years. And they called this practice ostracism. Like ostracize someone.
Gotcha.
Cool.
So this dude, Hyperbolus, great name. One of my favorites. Hyper.
Hyperbolus.
Yeah, it's a good anime character.
So Hyperbolus, he was basically like the centralist. You had Al on one side, who's right wing military, wants to go to war, and Nikos
Mitt
on
Romney.
the other side.
Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Nikos
Horny
on the
with
other-
Mitt Romney having sex with his own daughters. Okay. And then what's the other side? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. And then Nikos is all about peace and we gotta unite through trade.
Right. All right. So Kamala Harris, just throw everyone in jail, but quietly.
Yeah. So and then we got Hyperbolus, who's in the middle. He's both these guys are nuts.
Okay, my cousin Pete, he's pretty indifferent.
Okay.
So it was pretty well known that Al was not a fan of democracy, which was another reason why you'd think people would vote this guy out. He much preferred if Athens turned into an oligarchy, which is a government controlled by a few. a group of people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was much like a lot of other city-states, like Corinthia. They had an oligarchy. Sparta was kind of an oligarchy, even though it had two kings. But anyway, he's like, I don't like this democracy shit. We should just have all the rich people control the country.
Makes sense, man. I'm all for it. Because, I mean, what are poor people going to do? They're out busy working anyway.
Yeah. No time.
Yeah, they have no time to figure out politics. Rich people can sit around with their investments and go,
politics.
Might be pretty cool to do. Just do it this way. Okay?
Yeah, even
poor people don't have that time.
Yeah, even though Al was like basically got Jeff Bezos with all of his money because he couldn't bang his wife 3 times.
Mm-hmm. You know, once I saw Ted Cruz in an Applebee's with a whore.
Wow.
He was out with a whore. That's the kind of guy he is.
Have you seen his new facial hair? I feel like he looks worse. He looks like such a like a fake man. He's like a I don't know. He's like he's trying to be. Like he's bought like facial hair. He's slapped on his face.
It's funny because like the more and more I give up on politics because I just don't care that much. I just can't. Like it's all ridiculous. The more Ted Cruz has been coming into my attention. Like I just watching him and
it's like a
his
curse.
eyes shrink. Him watching a Texas man become Asian in the eyes. I watching him sprout.
Well, no, he's a
from the
Canadian
bottom.
Texas man.
Yeah, there's something so off about him, but he's good telly. He's good telly.
Yeah,
okay,
he's good telly.
So we've got this going on, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay. Well, Al's obviously going to get this whole 10 years of exile thing because he doesn't like democracy." But wouldn't you know it, that both Nikos and Al both had enough influence to exile Hyperbolus.
Dingus, out of here.
They turn around on the guy that's like, maybe we should vote on them to get them out. And he's like, no, you're out, dude.
Yeah. Oh, let's, no, we're going to vote right now. It's 2 of us versus get fucked. How are you? That is democracy. That's highest form.
That's how democracy works. All right. So at this time, thanks to Al, Athens is kind of in this period of expansion and empire. Athens pretty much controlled the seas, and they were like an economic powerhouse. Yeah, like it's all about like diplomacy and democracy with them. But they're also fighting too. They're not complete pusses.
Okay, good.
So Al had this bright idea to go sail over to Sicily, which was currently under the control of the powerful Syracusans, which were allies to Sparta, and expand their empire into Italy.
Okay. Make it happen.
Also, I always forget that Syracuse is a place besides New York.
Yeah, same here. Ithaca.
Yeah, Ithaca.
A lot of these Greek cities that aren't Greek, you know what they are? They're college towns. And you know what happens at a lot of college towns? Boy sex. With fraternities who claim to know nothing of boy sex. And that's fine. That's really fine.
Amazing.
I suppose. Because that's what college is. I mean, you're acquiring debt, so you're just loosening it up.
Yeah, you're making it rounder for those creditors.
Yeah, exactly.
Tag team you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rounded creditors. That's my new project I've been working on for quite some time. I'm glad we're talking about that finally. All right.
Al riles up the public and convinces Senate and the people, and they vote to build this massive fleet of triremes, which was the boat at the time. It was a big boat with a sail, and you row it. And we'll talk about that in a little bit.
It's a big boat with a sail, and you row it. Did you get anything out of that, Tom?
Thank you, Cody, for breaking that back down for me. Decorative sails, yes. Big fan. Yeah. Big fan of decorative sails. Got to row it. It shows power.
Athens is all like, fuck yeah, let's go kick fucking Sicily's ass.
All right, let's young men, row that way. I'm trying to be.
Yeah. And then the incident. Oh, no. The incident happens.
Wait.
You guys ready for the incident?
Look, too early for 9/11.
Cody, I was just about to say the same thing. What incident? Everything beforehand was pretty much gravy.
All right, lean into that. This is the 9/11 of Athens.
Oh, that's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
You.
Was it one building? Is that how we doubled them?
It was multiple.
Pentagon?
Multiple, it was actually worse
Multiple
than 9/11
structures.
because it was like more than 2 buildings.
Yeah, but they were smaller buildings.
They were. Well, they're pretty.
Do they have drop ceilings?
Did they start their own Patriot Act, hence leading to Rome taking their whole shit and running with it? The same way like the Middle East is doing our shit? I don't know. Right. I'm not a real world citizen.
I'm an idiot. Yeah.
We established that Al was a party boy, right? So him and a bunch of friends, they have the secret society of dudes. They're probably playing beer pong and like with their penises in each other and they're getting fucked up and whatever.
Sound guys.
All right.
Sound clouds.
Right.
So this group of gentlemen called the Sound Clouds. They're sounding clouds.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
They were like the rebellious young Athenians. They rejected Greek religion. All them gods that they have.
Right.
Nah, don't really need that.
Okay.
Al's not big on gods. So one night, actually the night before this giant fleet is going to sail to Sicily, Al and his boys get really fucked up and decide to smash up these statues called herms. Now I was going to describe what they are. I'm definitely putting them in the album in the artwork.
You keep doing that.
The artwork for the show. But Tom, maybe you can describe them. I'm gonna throw them in Hangout Zone.
Sure, let me sober up for a second. I'll look on the
Jesus.
Discord where we've been more active recently. Shout out to one of the best Patreon Discords, ours. Oh, these are herms?
Okay.
Yeah. So these are herms. It's basically all the important parts of a man on a pillar.
Right, a beautiful
hate
face
it.
and an erect cock
Yeah.
that seems to be Rylan. These men were not crucified; they are the crucifix.
No.
They
Right.
they are once upon the cock. Okay, so for those of you at home, Travis has posted 3 images, and what they are, they're 3 stone statues. Each one has a head of a human
Yes.
male. There's a beard. That's why I'll be so bodacious to say in 2021 that that's a man. With what seems to be uncircumcised erect penises. They are flying at it, and they had the bodies of wide popsicles. I haven't seen these in a long time, but the widest.
It's almost as if they were just like the sculptor like didn't get enough in the budget meeting. You know what I mean? And it's just like, wait, there's only this much in the budget. I'm out.
Right.
Dude,
Like, all he did was the face and penis.
Yeah, it's very strange. So just imagine a gravestone with a human head on top of it and some lettering or some just whatever kind of on the body, but then there is a cock that is Rylan.
So there's these. Thank you, Tom. That was beautiful. These statues are everywhere in Athens.
Okay.
Everywhere you go, you just see that fucking stone pillar, stone hard.
I hate it.
Covered in olive oil.
And most of
That's
them
bad.
they're called herms. Most of them were supposed to be Hermes, the god Hermes, his head and his fucking shaft.
Okay, that makes sense. What was he into again?
He was the god of a lot of different things. He was like a messenger god. So this was significant that the fact that these guys fucked up these herms was because he was like the god of sailing and like, Poseidon or whatever.
Right, god of sailing, god of messages.
Yeah.
And not to be too crude, but a cum shot on the face is quite the message. And
It's a message. It sends a message.
That's kind of one of those things that you could take away from this picture. And I don't like being crude like right now. We did crude before in the episode, and I hate this is so much lighter.
So him and his boys get all fucked up and night out on the town before this thing, and they smash them up. They smash off their heads and their wee-wees. So basically, there's nothing left.
That's
It's a
unfortunate
cinder
because
block.
that's
They
all
invented
they had.
the cinder block.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, exactly, Cody. Just making the rectangular stand up right.
So the city woke up, like, ready for this big invasion day, and they're like, oh no, all the heads and peepees are gone! And everyone assumed that it was Al and his boys, because they're just those types of guys that would go get drunk and fucking knock off penises.
Oh,
Of course.
It was Bart Simpson and Milhouse Vanderhouden.
I hate when I'm out drinking at a bar and then, I go home and I wake up the next morning and be like, oh, shit, someone knocked off my penis. Fuck.
Again.
So they're ready to launch. Everyone's in the ship, and the Senate is like, we have to prosecute Al right now. And they go hold a vote, and they're like, all right, we can't do it now because he's leading this fleet. Like, he's the leader of the fleet. So they're like, we're going to let you slide on this, but we know he did it.
Okay.
We know he did this.
Mm-hmm. And it will never be spoken of again.
So him and his 200 triremes head off to Sicily. And now their plan, there's a bunch of different plans. Nikos is there, his enemy, his peaceful enemy. And Nikos is just like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do it. And there's like another guy who's like, we should go right to Syracuse and beat the shit out of him. But Alcibiades' plan was, let's go to various towns in Sicily and try to like convert them to like the Athenian side, which was a terrible idea because that just meant the Syracusans knew that they were coming.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The soft delivery.
Yeah, and basically they would show up to all these towns, and right off the bat, the towns were like, you're not coming into our town with all those ships. You're just going to kill us. No.
Yeah.
And so they just go to the next town, and they'd be like, nah. Italians aren't dumb. Come on, what do these Greeks think that the Italians are dumb?
I don't know. Being from Long Island, that's a loaded statement.
Yeah, careful. You could start a fucking bar brawl with that.
Yeah, right? I don't want to be yelled at with hands.
It's loud, even though it's hands.
His hands are moving so fast. I've definitely learned my lesson.
It's like the rainbow shrimp. It's got
Yes.
the strongest.
Saint Anthony, I will never cross you again, sir.
So they're going around to all these Italian villages like, get the fuck out of here, you dumbs. Get out of here.
Hey, get out of here, dumbs. Don't you see I'm trying to make a family? Don't you see I got 1,500 people living in a house made of clay? Come on.
So all of this is going on back in Athens. Senate's like, you know what? We should arrest that motherfucker, Al. He knocked all those dicks off.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So we want our cocks. We want cocks. Let's do it. Come on. We want cocks. We're on latency, people, so maybe I don't know, Zwick maybe can line this up. We
Zwick,
want
fix it
cocks.
up.
We
want
want
cocks.
cocks.
Want cocks.
We're in character, though.
We want cocks.
We don't, Okay, continue.
So you've got the ship sailing across the Mediterranean chanting, we want cocks. And they're going to arrest Al. They're going to be like, all right. And so, like, the boat shows up, and Al's there. I don't know, they're in some town that's not letting them in. And they're like, all right, you got to come with us. You gotta go back. Because, like, we know you got them dicks. And Al's like, all right, I'll go with you guys as long as I can take my own boat. Because my boat's beautiful. It's a good boat. It's, like, the best boat. You're going to love my boat.
Okay. Boat.
So they're like, all right, fine, you can take your boat. And they go start sailing back to Athens. And they're like, oh, where's Alcibiades? He's not behind us anymore. And he had deserted. He's like, all right, guys, later. I have all the dicks.
Of course he did. Of course he did. He punches people in the face for fun.
On his way, he stopped in Syracuse, and he's like, hey, guess what? They're going to attack you guys, you stupids. So he spills the beans about their little not-so-sneaky attack. And where do you think he goes? Right? We got the big old ancient world. So many places you could go.
China.
China.
Detroit.
China, Troy.
He goes to China, Detroit, Sparta.
Oh!
That's fair.
A land
So he
of
defects.
strong labias.
Yeah, he essentially defects to the enemy.
Okay, it's great.
Now, you might think, wow, what a shock. Al, he's such a bad guy. I mean, he is a bad guy. But it wasn't so much of a shock because Al didn't really like democracy. And remember, his dad was a Xena warrior princess.
Right.
So he had that connection, and his nurse was strong Labes.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like a connection to Sparta the whole time, even though he's saying like "fuck Sparta."
I've never been there. It's the same way I say I get away with Jewish jokes. I've only been to temple twice, and they're for other people's bar mitzvahs. It's the same thing. I get it. You can lean in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he leans in. He's like, "I'm a Xena warrior princess. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
I got connections in high places."
Yo, I speak Greek also.
Somebody.
This is my life.
Now, as I mentioned, Sparta was a diarchy, so that meant it had two kings, and both of them were just said to descend from the twins of Hercules.
Right.
So Hercules blasts out twins. Those are the two Spartan kings.
I always thought the twins of Hercules were like a metaphorical thing referring to those 24-inch pythons, dude.
Twins.
I'm saying, like, you got 24-inch twins. It's pretty
This
cool.
is the Musaka. This is the Brosaki.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Al buddies up to this King Agus the Second. And he's like, "Yo, dude, I'm pretty much done being an Athenian." So he stops being like a shaved pretty boy. Al grows a beard, starts working on his core. He's like turning into a Spartan, right?
Great. Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Now,
in Sparta.
wouldn't you know, Al gonna fuck it up again.
Okay. That's good.
So King Agus II had a smoking 17-year-old wife called Tamara.
Almost good.
Okay.
Almost good. I mean, think about it in ancient terms. That's good.
It's fine. 17. I mean, we have English listeners, and they're all 16.
So he had the smoking wife, and Al slipped right in there, banging the king's
Whoop! Don't mind if I do.
banging the king's wife behind his back. The guy that lent him like amnesty. It's fucking. I don't care. This is some Spartan hot, strong labes.
Ooh, pastrami.
Okay.
Now you see, because we mentioned Sparta had this like equality going on, where like women were actually like kind of on the same page.
Right.
Adultery wasn't a crime in Sparta. In fact, women could go around and fuck other guys under the terms that they needed the strongest dude come to make the most superhuman Spartan warrior.
Uh-oh.
So, as long as the guy didn't, like, come back, metaphorically, like, I'm just here, I need to come, give me that cum, sir, and then we're done. I'm just trying to make sure this soup is just as creamy as they promise here at TGIF Fridays.
Oh, no.
I need to make sure that I
Stop
can
it.
deliver the goods. I need to make sure that the breadsticks are hot and warm. Fridays used to do that. It wasn't just Olive Garden. But my point is that you have women, they're fucking on purpose.
Oh, here's the thing. Do you think Gerard Butler came from a monogamous relationship? Correct answer, impossible. You need to find the two most superhuman people, regardless of their relationship status, to have them mash.
Okay, cool. Gerard Butler is a great example because he's a movie. He's a movie man.
Yeah.
He's a movie man.
And apparently in real life, he's
Yeah.
kind of out of shape and got a really small penis.
Yeah.
But movies are very American, and a lot of our audiences
Yeah.
too, so you get it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gerard
So-
Butler.
Whatever
Yeah.
I just said about all this adultery in Sparta and like you could fuck other people, it's different when you're cucking the king. Like that's, you know
A
what I
little
mean?
bit.
Like,
Well, we
That is
all
all.
know that the king was running all over. He was having a good time. He's the king.
yeah.
He's gonna do. Okay, so then
Ne-
all of a sudden Queen dud, and now he's not into it. That's
I feel like
ow.
I feel like he was like, yeah, no, it's totally cool. You could do whatever you want. Like, yeah, it's great. And then like she doesn't. She's like, what the fuck?
Oh!
Have you been sounding Al behind my back? This will not do.
That's horrible.
Have you been poking 3 millimeter holes inside of condoms?
Well, speaking of which, wouldn't you know, Al knocked up Tamara. Yeah.
Should have went with
Fuck.
Tia.
Now, King Agus wasn't stupid. He did the math, and he was like, "What? Wait a minute. I was on campaign when you got preggers. Not me."
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what about this Athenian pretty boy? Oh, no. So Al knew it was time to bounce yet again. And lucky for him, he was selected to head up a delegation of Spartans to go to Greece's old enemy, Greece in general, Persia. You see, the way Spartans needed money in order to win this war against Athens, and they were willing to turn to none other than Persia. Right, 300, that happened about 200 years before this.
Okay, yeah,
When they
no,
were
that definitely
fighting
happened. That was a real thing. Shout out to Gerard Butler and that man who had fantastic jewelry. I believe his name was Zergus.
Yeah, Zergus.
Zergus, yeah, you're right.
So Persia at this time was not ruled by Xerxes. It was ruled by Darius II. And it
Darius, hello.
It was the world's largest, wealthiest empire in the world. It was the world.
In the
world. It was the largest, wealthiest empire in the world.
It was Britain 1.
Yeah.
We should really be calling Britain Persia 2.
Persia 2, Super Persia.
They'd love that.
Yeah, I know how much they would, all those guys would say stuff, all witty.
Yeah. They'd
be like,
they probably say something racist about their corner store.
Yeah. Well, it's thus is the English way. I don't understand every culture. I know that. If they want to be racist at the Polacks, that's what they do.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, Darius could not be in one place all at once, right? Mm-hmm. So he had governors to rule in his stead. And the Spartans and Al talked to this dude, and I'm going to attempt his name, Chitapharna. We're going to call him Chit.
Spell it.
Chit.
Is it Chet Atkins?
Chet.
Yeah, Chet Atkins. It's Chitfarna.
Oh, Chit Farna sounds just fine.
Chit Farna. So Chit, he's the governor of Ionia, which is like where Troy was.
Okay.
Now, Al was well aware that the Spartan king probably wanted him dead for turkey basting his wife. So, again, he charmed his way in with this Chit guy and defected to Persia.
Oh, boy. That's a big pal move.
I like this guy. I mean, he seemed to have grown out of being an asshole to someone who's out for himself. Does that make sense?
This guy is all about himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he seems less punching in the face and more self-preservation-y.
I'm sure he's still punched in the face. You might not like what he became right now because he embodies the whole lifestyle. Just like he did with Spartans, he becomes like a Persian. So that meant that he would wear silk robes, black eyeliner, puts his hair up in a man bun, douses himself in perfume, and oils his beard into curls.
I have no problem with that. I'm against the perfume, but I'm honestly biased because I'm kind of allergic to a lot of stuff. I'm somewhat nasally handicapped, and I can't breathe in a lot of these things. But besides the perfume, that's a very good look.
Tom, I want to see you in eyeliner. Could you make a post?
Dude, I have. And for everyone at home who doesn't know what I look like, just imagine hot, okay? I pull off eyeliner well. I got blazing blue eyes. I am flying through every alley with my eyes, just looking around. People go, "Oh man, what is that? I want some of that shit."
Tommy eyes.
Tommy eyes. A lot of people call me that.
So yeah, this Persian nobility was like absolutely extra. And hell, there was a thing called the Royal Road where only the king would use, and it was like well manicured throughout the year, and he was the only one allowed on this road. And also, there was like, I think you saw it in 300. The king never touched the ground, so like they'd roll something out whenever he, got off his thing. But anyway, Al gets this whole new idea about Athens. He's like, all right, dude, because he hasn't forgotten about Athens. He always wants to go home, like the entire time. And he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
They don't like me there. We have to destroy democracy. We have to become an evildoer.
Oh my God, how 2020.
Wow.
Fuck.
So Al still has some friends back in Athens. I mean, he's a party boy, of course, you know?
Uh-huh.
Do you ever have those party boys that, like, they fall out for a while, and then they show up again, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, well, how are you guys doing?
They don't really talk.
Yeah,
like
where
that.
did you go?
They don't speak like that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they exist.
Yeah.
Listen, I've made many best friends whose name escapes me at the moment because I was in the Brooklyn or because I was in the Queens and I was partying at the place. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yeah. So there's boys out there that still like this guy, and they want him back because he's just so much fun. He likes to lop off penises.
Right.
Stone penises.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
So he's like, all right, we got to hatch this idea, dude. We had to flip the government from a democracy to an oligarchy. And that is exactly what he was able to pull off with his friends. There was a coup in 411, and Athenian democracy ended and became an oligarchy.
Wow.
Overnight like that.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a coup.
I mean, they probably stormed the Capitol. Not even making a joke here.
Well, yeah, there's no jokes to be made. I mean, you know, he does, in hindsight, this all sounds like Gavin McInnes.
Yeah, kind of. He probably had a similar mustache to him.
Very good looking, but also like, please stay away from me. You probably have some kind of weird AIDS.
Yeah, you probably would touch my daughter.
Yeah, you probably would.
Slinging the weird germ.
You probably ruin my life in ways I couldn't imagine by just speaking to you. So you stay on your side of the Olive Garden, and I'll be over here.
I do.
So on top of this whole thing of Al coming back, he also made a deal that he would be able to broker a deal with the Persians and help fund the Athenians rather than the Spartans. And like with that, you know, they've installed this new government, pro-Al dudes, and Athens was run by 400 of the top noble families. The 400 invited him back formally, and Al was like, nah, you know what, I can't get that deal with the Persians. They like the Spartans too much. Sorry.
Oh, my bad. That's irritating.
Yeah. Once back in Athens, he's reinstated as a general and starts to rebuild the Athenian fleet. His new objective was to control the Dardanelles and Hellespont, which was that place with that nice-ass lady that he banged and made his daughter.
How nice was she at this point? How many babies did she have?
Were she bad?
I think that she could probably block the Dardanelles with all the babies. If they stood arm to arm and treaded water.
It's good stuff, man.
So the one thing I can say about Al is he did know how to manage naval warfare. So I talked about the triremes, right? That's the type of ship. You rowboats with a sail.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it kind of seems dumb because it is. But these things were basically just big rams. Like, no one shot arrows at each other. They would just literally row into each other really hard. Like, kind of like a battle bot
bumper
with nothing
boats.
on it. Yeah.
That's always cool.
So you have all these dummies out in the ocean just, like, rowing into each other and trying to... They didn't even try to sink each other. They would, like... Because apparently it's very hard to actually sink a trireme. It would just, like, get, like, waterlogged after you hit it enough and hard to row.
All right, so you're saying he's pretty good at bocce ball, a sport that a lot of people were not paying attention to at the time.
There you go.
And it's not terribly difficult. A first timer could have what you would call beginner's luck and win a battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Love it.
So Al went.
Put that at the top of the episode.
Yeah. Al wins a whole bunch of naval battles. He brings in a whole bunch of city-states under the Athenian Empire and returns to Athens as a tyrant. He's the sole ruler of Athens now. There's
Yay.
an oligarchy, but he is at the top.
Nice.
He did it.
He rules for a bit, but the war with Sparta is still going on. Right, this entire time they're still fighting Sparta, and Sparta has this like advantage because now they have like a financer in Persia.
Right.
So they send him out to go. They send Al out to go back into the Aegean Sea and try to cut off Sparta from their Persian financiers. So imagine that egg again, right? You got the Middle East. That's where Persia is. So he's going over to the Middle East and trying to like stop all these like harbor towns from like cut them off. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I follow.
So the first place he's gonna go, because this is our boy, he goes to Lesbos to go match some lesbians.
That's what I would do.
You know,
That would be how it worked.
I want to see this guy there, and I'd love in an alternate universe where Jesse Lee Peterson lives there. He's just out on the street yelling at all these lesbians. And they're not even lesbians, you know? It's just a town. It's a town.
Yeah.
Like, they're, statistically speaking, there are some lesbians, but living in that town, lesbians! They're the evil town! They're the evil town here.
Run away.
Love it.
So the lesbians were super pro Sparta because like they were part of that fold, right under, the hood.
Yeah,
fold.
lady power. Come on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he sets off in his fleet, and this time he did not get so lucky. No, you see, he decided to send a subordinate. That's like command. He wasn't even like a in the upper brass of the Spartan navy. He was just like some guy that he liked, who happened to be a drunk, and he was like, "All right, dude, go send your ships up north past Lesbos, and just like watch the Spartan fleet. I don't want you to go and attack them. Just watch them. Just be like, hey, we're here.
Just watch.
Of course, this guy gets drunk, and he like goes into the harbor, and the Spartan general named Lysander just blasts him, and the Spartans or the Athenians lose most of their fleet because of this drunk dude.
Wow.
Very hot.
So
Very hot
now,
to lose everyone so easy.
Yeah. So now Al has been scissored to death by the lesbians. He's weakened.
No.
He's covered in snail trails. And he's like, I can't go back to Athens now. They're going to kill me.
Yeah.
So what does Al
Look at
do?
Does he become a lesbian?
Well, he does desert, but he goes over to Thracia.
Okay.
You ever hear of that place?
Oh, God, have I?
No.
Oh, man, I got plenty of stories from Thracia, boys. That's some of the wildest times in my life. I wrote several songs about it on my soft rock album, Tom and Thracia.
So Thrace was, the Thracians and Thrace was pretty much modern-day Bulgaria. Now, this was the most barbarian of the ancient world. All the Greeks were like, ew, like Thracians? They were blonde. They had beards, blue eyes. They drank, instead of drinking wine like the Greeks do, that little stem, you got to like swirl it around. They drank beer, and they drank beer with straws.
Ew, that's gross. Now that's terrible.
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
What are you, from Florida?
Now, there's actually a Greek joke that the Thracians were good at giving blowjobs because they would suck their beer through straws.
Okay, I understand that that's a joke, but was it actually a joke? We're just like, this is what you do with one of those blondies when they come down here. You look them right in the eye and you give them the soft brown.
Another thing is they were also covered in tattoos, and of course, another weird thing for these, we saw what those Herm statues look like. The Thracians were circumcised. I like talking about circumcisions.
You bring it up too often.
It's a big deal in the ancient world. Where's your hood? Where's your hood at?
Apparently, it's a big deal now.
Where's your hood at?
Where's your hood at?
I don't know. Like, you can keep a gold coin in there, but besides that, who cares?
Yeah, that was like, Tom, you talk about like cold wallets with Bitcoin? That's your cold wallet.
I'm not talking about that on record.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm just saying that's where you keep your treasures. You keep it in the hood.
Right, exactly. Find your cold wallet. It is you were born with it. Shout out to having hard metal on your cock.
So Al, he is transformed. He was originally Athenian. He transformed into a Spartan. He transformed into a Persian, and now he transforms and adopts the customs of the Thracians.
Yes.
Transform.
Did he dye his hair?
No, but he started to apparently they also put their hair up in man buns too.
That's so cool.
Picturing these Thracians as some tattooed yoga studio guy.
Oh God. You know, have you guys ever been to Brooklyn before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough said. Let's go.
Okay.
I don't know if Al took it so far that he chopped his tip off, but that's just a mystery for history. History's mysteries.
I mean, would you blame him?
Gross.
If you're trying to fit in?
Trying to fit in with the boys.
Here's one to put on a bumper sticker. If you're trying to fit in, what's a little skin? Okay?
I like it. Buy bumper stickers.
And then the
Get a
other
shirt.
the other one is my other car is a foreskin.
Ford skin?
Foreskin drive.
Ford skin.
Can we do Ford
and my
skin?
Cum Fiesta.
My Cum Fiesta is a Ford skin. My other Cum Fiesta is a Ford skin. We can keep working this out.
Yeah.
Working out merch on the show is a lot of fun.
We'll pitch it. We'll pitch it to Ford. I think they'll go bite.
Yeah, we'll have to bring it to the
boss. They'll
boss.
sign off.
Oh, by the way, we have a boss. Did you guys know that?
Who's our boss?
No.
Well, we can't say it on the podcast, but we have a financier.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So he's got several Cum Fiestas, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
You know what I'm talking about now. Yeah.
I kissed him on the lips. So anyway, Al.
Yeah. Anyway.
Al had the bright idea. Now he's up in Thracia, and he has this bright idea. Let's invite his shithead son, who was in Athens. Let's invite him up here up north to Bulgaria. Come on. They got a legacy.
Why not? What did we go wrong?
Now, you see, Al had pretty much never seen this 15-year-old child. He pretty much orphaned him as a boy when he was, defected to Sparta.
Right.
It'd been that long of him, moving around. And he quickly realized that this was a terrible idea because his son was just as sex-driven, cruel as his father. And his name was Alcibiades, too. And little Al Jr. Was fucking around too much and eventually got kicked out of Thrace for hard sexting.
Hard sexting. Okay.
Wow.
And that's hard sex. It is very hard to write in stone.
Yeah.
Putting the eternal description of your hard cock as a 15-year-old into stone, it takes all night, and it's worth getting the boot for. He is certainly the Weird Al of the story.
Yeah. So Athens was losing to Sparta, and Al reached out to his old home and was like, hey, guys, see you're running out of money and men. He's like, literally, Athens was running out of young men to fight in this war.
Oh, good.
So, this year running out of money and men, I could assemble a Thracian army and help you out, you idiots out. And this deal went on for months, right? Al is he's good at deals. He's he has the art of the deal down, right? Because he never comes through with it.
Okay,
cool. Yeah.
Art of the deal is down with Al.
It's a book by Bob Ross. It's really good. It's about dealing out paintings on PBS. It's very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's talks for months about how Al's going to bring the Thracians in. He watches this Athenian fleet get massacred and goes down there. He's like, you want my help? And they're like, nah, dude, we're good. And they get fucked up.
You good?
It's beautiful.
But the thing was the Thracians liked him, but they didn't like him that much. He's not a nice guy. So they're not willing to raise an army for him, you know?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're this much of an asshole in the ancient world or anywhere really, someone's gonna put a hit on you eventually.
Yeah, that's how that do.
Someone's gonna do that. Who do you think put the hit out on this guy?
The guy whose wife he did it with, the king.
Bing, 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 bing. The
God.
Spartan king.
Tom knows how
Agus.
the world works.
I get it. Listen. It's gotta be hard.
I was in this situation.
Imagine being told you have the entire world in your hands for your entire life, and then all of a sudden, your 15-year-old bride gets fucked in front of you. Maybe a hit is in order. That's all I'm saying. Maybe all this adds up. Maybe I'm not the crazy one here. Maybe we all need to relax and put a few hits out every now and then.
Everyone should try to cuck a king, but you have to know that there's repercussions sometimes.
He coming.
What are you going to do? What is he going to do?
I mean, look at what happened to Princess Diana. She probably cucked someone.
She definitely cucked someone.
Them.
She definitely did. Because she was having fun. And she was most likely visiting Lesbos.
Pagan.
Pagan Lesbos, which is the weirdest kind of... It's a stretch.
Yeah.
It's a stretch, yeah. So the king of Sparta was out for blood. Mm-hmm. And Al knew that even though he was all the way up in Thrace, the barbarian, backwoods of the ancient world, he knew that he wasn't safe there. So he took his two favorite whores that had companioned with him this entire time. I failed to mention them.
Oh, good.
Cool.
What were their names?
Their names were Timandra and Theodot. So he took them and he decided to move. Now, these two lovers, they were said to be the most beautiful, well-educated cocksuckers in the land.
Wow.
In fact, one of Socrates' buds said this about Theodot, that she had the most delightful breasts imaginable.
So, what are we talking about?
5 stars.
How much milk are we dealing with here? What's the situation?
Oh, I think we're dealing with Cam Hor.
Are we metric or imperial first?
I mean, what do they use in Greece? I don't know, feta?
I think they're big on liters.
Feta.
It's only measurements of liters. Even in non-liquid form, you know?
I'm thinking about 45 liters of milk.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think a beanbag is just shy of 50. So this is a lady who has a lot of back problems, but really can turn it on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Socrates and his buds, right? They know about
Socrates
45.
didn't write anything down. He's going home. He's like, something about those. That had to have been 45 liters of goddamn goat's milk. I get it. I get what's happening here.
Yeah.
Right.
But good for her. Good for her. She doesn't need to. She's like Jenna Jameson. You know, she's like, I'm smart and this, and I'm a Republican. And that's kind of funny because I'm sure she's had more abortions than God could imagine in one night.
So Al's got everything he needs, right? He's got tibbies. He's like, all right, I got 2 sets of them. And he's like, all right, I'm going to run away because someone's trying to kill me. Come with me, ladies with nice tits.
They didn't have a choice.
I think that in this situation, it was complicated.
It's complicated, right? Great rule. Well, Facebook first came onto the scene back in 2004, 2005. It was only for college kids. We don't know about the Facebook beforehand, which was only for royal people.
Mark Zuckerberg has never changed his relationship status out of it's complicated because I don't think he's human.
I don't think he understands anything. I think he understands a computer program, and that's how he treats people.
Robot.
I think he treats people. I don't know if he's ever jerked off. I think he treats people as robots, like the same way that you and I would treat a toaster. Use me, and then go sit down and watch Netflix. That's pretty much what's happening there.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound perverse either. Anyway, continue.
So him and his 2 wops head north into the interior of Thrace. And of course, they hired movers because, these are Brooklyn boys, right?
These are big tits.
Movers.
They're very big tits.
And of course, the movers, they had this caravan going, and they make off with most of his stuff. So now he's pretty much broke because they just were like, all my things that I've collected.
All mine.
It's very nice.
No,
it's great.
But you see, Al, he's such a stuck-up prick. He's like, I don't want to live the rest of my life in Thrace because they're so barbaric. We need to find somewhere else to lie low. And what better place to lie low than in the empire of the people that are financing the person that put a hit out on you?
Persia?
Oh, he's
He heads back to Persia.
he's hiding under the dock. Clever.
Right? So Persia's the fancy boys. He wants to live out the rest of his life as a fancy boy. So he heads out to Persia. And with that, could you ask me a question?
Oh. Travis, how did this boy die?
Okay, so it's a long-winded story, as most things happen in his story.
Our entire podcast is
okay.
just a series of long-winded stories, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think of the Diary of Anne Frank, and it was like, it's too long.
Pretty long.
It's kind of a long-winded story. I mean, it's very heartfelt, but still long-winded. You can't. Those are not. Those can be synonymous.
You could cut to the chase. Cliff notes are all right.
Was interrupted too early.
Oh.
You were interrupted too early.
So the
She was.
Persians permitted.
That's not funny. Don't laugh at that. You're sick if you laugh.
The Persians permitted him to live in Persia, and they even gave him his own state called Melissa. Great name.
Great.
Sweet
Wow.
Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking Allman Brothers. Come on, let's go, man. Let's jam out and then ruin a fucking an entire generation.
Why
Now,
not?
remember, like, Persia's so broken up that, like, the Spartans had made a deal with a different governor than, like, the one that Al was friends with. So, like, there was still some divide here. He's like, hey, you like me. I know your other governor doesn't like me. Like, Chris Christie doesn't like me because he didn't bring me donuts. Bring him donuts. But, like, I don't know.
All right, don't get on Chris Christie's case.
I don't
know that
know.
he was trying to
Okay.
bring you donuts, but he happened to get hungry along the way. Okay, don't talk shit about Chris Christie. It was a low blow.
He likes donuts.
He likes a lot of things. He's a really nice guy.
Sure.
What are you guys doing? Both of you just burping like some kind of sick Willy Wonka.
Well, I've been drinking
That's
hard
us.
seltzers.
Guys,
I've been drinking longboards.
what are you drinking at Longboards? Well, that's. I'm not
Longboards.
surprised. I'm sorry, Cody. You're just there. You're just there right now.
Is that how you doing? Oh, what? You drink longboards?
Nah. Yes.
So one night after tag teaming both Theodot and Timandra, the three of them
Right.
lying in bed, right? Covered in all
Sure.
types of secretions. Mm-hmm. And
Great.
Al woke up to a smell, and it wasn't sex juice smell. It was burning.
Shit. Burning.
Oh, no! So he woke up and he quickly realized that there was a fire on the other side of his bedroom door. Now, Al wasn't
That
about being
sucks.
burnt alive, so he and his slaves both quickly, not the two women, he had other slaves as well. He had slaves his entire life. I just didn't mention them.
Right.
Him
Well, it's kind of implied with this type of royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So him and his slaves quickly smothered the flames, and they realized there was an assembled stack of wood outside of his door. Like,
Oh.
that's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And
what TSA is checking for. It's like, firearms, razor blades, box cutters, all that crap, assembled wood. Gotta look out for these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even call it a gamer word if you wanted to.
Ha
I
ha.
will when we're not recording. Continue.
All of a sudden, he's out there stomping on this fucking dog shit, burning dog shit on his front door. And all of a sudden, arrows start flying at the house.
Oh.
So Al
Shit.
is still naked. He's doing this entire thing with his dick flopping out. Right? He's stomping out fires with his dick out because he's a real
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Right.
Now Al goes to reach for his weapons, but they're gone. No shield, no sword, no nothing.
Fuck.
So he grabs a short knife and he lets off a war cry. And he runs off into the darkness in the direction of the arrows. Like a man.
Just
Naked
goes.
man.
He's like, they're coming that way.
Naked with a knife.
I've never really done a fight in my life, but you know what, man? I got so much. You fucked up my beauty sleep.
Yeah.
And I don't need it because I can have sex with everyone, and I'm so handsome.
And of course, Al's handsome naked body was littered with arrows.
Oh.
Died in the
God.
middle of the night. And the next morning, his 2 hoes went out to collect his body and give Al a funeral, only to discover that his head was missing. Someone chopped that head off.
Fuck me.
In fact,
True crime.
His head was already on its way to the pro-Spartan governor that would present it to the cucked king, Agus.
Got him.
Nice. Now, do you know what Agus did with his wife that betrayed him in such a way as a 14-year-old girl?
Tom, we got a little post-mortem. I'll tell you about that.
I'm here to listen.
History predicting.
I like
asshole.
listening.
Do you want to talk about our guy before I go to post-mortem, or do we want to just do the post-mortem?
No, I
and
mean,
rattle
he's
it off?
basically what I imagine Chris D'Elia is like in real life. It's fine. It's fine. It's just, that's what he's doing.
I was watching. There's a new Netflix thing, like the history of swear words with Nicolas Cage.
Yes, I've
Did you
heard
see
about
that?
this. I'm
Okay.
timid about watching it because anything that's on Netflix now, I just hate.
It's
'Cause
actually pretty good.
I
have
own
the
stock
book.
in Netflix, so I hate them. That's
I
what
have
you
the
do.
book.
There you go.
I have the book. Holy shit! And the author is in that. It's like the history of swear words. But I'm watching the credits, and all of a sudden I see like executive producer Christopher D'Elia. I'm like, oh, whoa,
Thanks.
grooming.
Well, you know what? To be fair, he's got to make his money somehow. And by that, I
Yeah.
mean he could retire because I'm sure he did just fine for himself.
Oh yeah.
At least he's not
So-
Brian Callen.
Oh.
Cody, any thoughts about our boy Al before I do posty?
No, he's a whack job that died heroically and naked.
Yeah. So, penis out, boy. I'm going into a little bit of postmortem. So the Spartans eventually won the war and installed a puppet reign of terror, puppet government, a reign of terror in
Right.
Athens.
Yeah.
And now the thing was they'd kill anyone who voiced any dissent about the government. Oftentimes, they would have them forcibly commit suicide.
Oh, a voluntary volunteering for suicide.
Yeah. Civic
There you
voluntary. And one of those boys who did that? Little Socrates.
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. So this dude, Al, is pretty much the reason why Socrates died. He had to drink that hemlock.
Hemlock.
How old was Al when he died? Just to
He was about in his 40s. He was 46.
okay. That's good. That's good.
Wow.
He made it.
So a little bit of extra stuff about Al Jr., right? We talked about him when he went to Thrace and he was too much of a sexter.
Yeah.
Too much
Yeah.
of those Gen Z sexters.
Mm-hmm.
Al Jr. started fucking his sister.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so he started fucking his sister who divorced her husband so she could fuck her brother. That's weird. And it weirded everyone out. I mean, I know we talked about how Athens was weird, but everyone was like, dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, look,
Knock
we
it off.
fuck around. When the entirety of like Las Vegas says you have a gambling problem, you're fucking up.
Yeah. So
Little
for
bit.
years, Al Jr. defended his father's honor, even though he hated him when he was alive. But he would eventually die destitute. And what about our boy, King Agus? Well, so he died eventually, but he was succeeded by his son, Leonidas. But, you see, Queen Tamara originally named that one-day king Alcibiades.
Oh,
He's back.
wow.
So
it's like
the-
Curse of Chucky or whatever.
yeah, the next king of Sparta was fucking Al's child.
Wow. That's really great.
Lovely.
It's beautiful.
And that's our story about Western democracy. It's real cool. And everyone can learn about Western culture this way when they fuck boys.
So good. Well,
Travis, thanks for letting me know how Weird Al did it.
yeah, Weird Al, he plays
Yeah.
a mean accordion.
He's funny. This was a funny guy, I
He do.
suppose. I mean, I think Grease wasn't funny, but I think he was.
There's something about Greek food. It's not really spicy, but like it's spicy. Like in the sense of like, ooh, that's spicy.
Well, spices don't
It's
exactly mean
robust.
that it's spicy.
yeah.
It's just a lemon. Everything you order from a Greek restaurant is just a lemon that's cut in a
Lemon.
different shape. Okay?
Yeah.
So with that being said,
Gyros, lemon.
a lemon on bread. Okay? Travis, thank you so
Souvlaki,
much for bringing in
lemon.
our buddy Al.
Yeah,
Cody, thanks for having a week.
I did it.
Mike, you're
Talked
not on
about
the
my
show,
dream.
so go fuck yourself. I'm Tom. This is Roast Mortem. Go to our Patreon. Do you like the show? You're obviously here. You made it at this point of the episode. You might as well go to patreon.com and give us a few dollars a month, and then we can do this.
Please and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got roastmortemcast.com. You can buy shirts and see broken links.
Yeah, we have lots of broken links.
Awesome.
What's going on there? We'll have this talk after the show, but
I told you I'm not
well-
a web developer. I touch my pee-pee too often to understand code.
you're definitely a developer of sorts. Cody, once again,
Yeah.
why don't you say goodbye?
Thank you for being here. Goodbye.
Thank
See you next
Shane.
week.
Das
Stay
Vidania,
danked.
as they say in Greece. They do things on
No.
the streets real neat.
Yasumalaka.
Vidania, do that.
Get him out of here.
Touch my leg
Bye.
and touch my teeth.